Right, guys, welcome back. This, I think, is one of the best games I have actually played. Right, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. So, on this one,
Battle started.
I am gonna be. I never clocked that in the actual game. I'm gonna be frontlining. Well, every position here pretty much is a front line, to be completely honest with you, right? Maybe these two sections here aren't, but yeah, your guy, your man, your boy is gonna be frontlining. Now this game again, much like all my games, right? In this period of my journey, is gonna be a noob game, right? And these are the best ones to hone in your skills, actually get somewhere with helping the team, and just generally getting good at the game and having a bit of fun, right? So blue team leader, who we got? G Flow. So he is our Mon Capitan. He's gonna be leading the team. So as you can see from here, right, the I'm this really sort of dark green, a bit like a khaki green. So I'm really down the ranks in terms of skill level in the team, right? But this was a really good game of mine. Literally, I think it's the best play I've done. But you guys are the judge of it, right? You guys let me know how you think I did in this game, and much like all the other videos, let me know where I can improve, right? So I really want to get better at this. So yeah, let me know. And if you are enjoying the content, drop a like, drop a sub. It really helps, right? It helps support a fledgling channel like mine to kind of get out there and you know share with the world some things that I enjoy doing, right? And gaming is probably the most enjoyable thing I do. Right, so what have I done? Wind is not bad in this map. It's not bad, but sometimes you just gotta get those solars, right, just to get that consistent energy going. Made a bot lab, went straight into Lazarus. The reason why I wanted bots is because I saw that this was slightly mountainous terrain, and I wasn't comfortable with just making vehicles and sending them up, right? Because I don't think I've actually played this map before, so I thought bots would be a safer bet. Plus, Armada bots, I know them a lot more than I know how to play with the vehicles. So it's kind of like my safe space, my happy place, right? So I made a Lazarus, get someone that reclaiming. Made two construction bots, and I think that's going to be enough to help build me a bit of an economy. So with that in mind, I wanna go and establish myself. So I'm going for a commander march, sending him right in there. So in comparison to some of my squad mates, they kind of are and they kind of aren't. So their comms have left the initial starting positions. Right, Woody's doing good. He's moving his commander up, but he's going to be met by some of these Legion bots, right? So my sort of opposition player is Abram OXO Hugs and Kisses, or maybe it's a famous stock cube company. We shall find out. So as you can see from the map, I've actually moved my units quite aggressively all the way up here, pretty much meeting him at his front door. Okay, because I thought, you know what, I just don't want to give him any room. I don't want to give him any room. I want him to feel pressured. Right? The thing about RTS games, and I think a lot of games in general, but in RTS you kind of see it more, right? It's the psychological advantage you can get over your opponents. So him just feeling like I've taken up all this room, that I'm right in front of his base. If I can get some good trades, then it's gonna really make him think twice about being aggressive. And if he gives me enough room, lets me cook, I can come up with some good things, right? So I think I traded pretty well. He could have actually taken me on. He's got a good two sets of units, right? He could have got me on a flank and done really well. Move these units down this way, these units down this side here, and he could have had me. I need to reinforce my units, right? My base is a little bit far away. Pawns Peewees, it's not the biggest map in the world, but still it's going to take them a little bit of time to get here. So the trusted LLT the trusted LLT. These are, you know, LLTs that against tier 1 early game. These are great. So all I've got to do is, if they get close, I just got to entice them enough to want to chase after me, get closer to my LLTs, and I'll be okay, right? Something that I've incorporated into this game as well is the use of these walls, right? The use of these walls. I haven't capped it all off on the edge because, one, I didn't want my commander, you know, walking all the way over there, right? Although I know it's not you know, biggest gap in the world, but I wanted to. I knew that if he's trying to send bots down this way, this LLT's got it covered, and if some feed through or, you know, squeeze through, this LLT's gonna cover them off there. There's me just trying to get a little bit more ground. So as you can see, I've kind of pushed him to this weird sort of this weird curve. Really bizarre. And he's now got a bit of help, right? Bro Lakai. So this guy's frightened as well. I mean, if he had just pushed up, in fact, these are his units. Yeah, I mean, look, if they both just pushed and been a little bit aggressive, I'm in trouble. I'm in some serious trouble. 2v1, I'm not going to be able to take these guys on, right? 2v1, I'm not going to be able to take these guys on. And I don't have reinforcement here. Although I do have one of my comrades putting his construction vehicle up front. That's not really going to do anything. You know, he's a builder. He's a lover, not a fighter, right? So he's not gonna be able to help me out. So it's really me. But because I got those early trades in, because I did really well there, they're frightened to come forward. I don't want to take any risks because I couldn't see that I've got help up over here. I just don't want to be in a position where all my flanks have been overrun. Yeah, all I'm trying to do here is just bide enough time. See, this is interesting. I always thought that rockets from the opposition struggled to fire over the tier 1 wall. Has something changed? I mean, this is season 2. This is a season 2 game. It's a very recent game, right? But I always thought rockets, tier 1 rockets, could not go over tier 1 walls. So I've learned something new today. Right, so as you can see, they invested heavily into these bots, and they could do really well. They're certainly outnumbering me. Whilst this is going on, back home, I am beginning to get a little bit bigger. Right, I'm getting a little bit bigger. So wind farming, right? I've got some energy converters. They're gonna start, you know, actually bringing some value as I get more E coming in. So these walls, although not perfect, they are doing a good amount of work for me, right? They stop these guys from just pushing through and ramaging my units. Okay, and as they get closer, these LLTs, my OG LLTs, they're able to hit over the wall. Great bombing run. Now this I love. I say it in so many of my videos, right? If you've got a good air player, they can make such a difference. I mean, that's going to get these guys thinking a little bit, right? That look, they might be thinking, look, wow, look how coordinated they are, right? This green player was in trouble. Their air player comes down with a bunch of bombers and struck us, you know. And he's not done yet. He's not done yet. Look, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. I mean, the map awareness that air players have, right, is spectacular. A good air player can make such a difference. Now, one of the things that you notice is I've moved away from pawns. I'm gone into rocketeers now. And again, that was my thinking was, you know, rocketeers, the tier 1 walls, if it's your wall, your rocketeers, they can shoot over the wall, but your oppositions can't. Hence, you know, it's I started investing heavily into these guys. Right, I wanted to get a little bit of aggression in there, but I did realize that they've got a ton of LLTs. They've got a ton of LLTs, and I just won't be able to really amount the type of aggression to get the damage I want out of that. So I realized that, look, I can't just push, right? I can't just push. I'm gonna have to kind of hold my ground in my my, not really a base, but my forward operating base, if you want to call it that. Beamer turrets, brilliant. So thank God he actually started building some sort of defense here if he's not going to send units up, right? Because without this, they would have overrun him. They would have overrun him. I I've learned very sort of early on that it's the units. Yes, make static defenses where appropriate, where you can. I certainly do, right? But it's the units that are gonna really do good for you. Static defenses can't move. Units can. You can repair them quicker as well. You can move them forward, get a little bit of aggression in, move them back when they're hurt, and get the repair going, right? And guys, do correct me if I'm wrong, but repairing units, especially these tier 1 units, it's a lot quicker than repairing certain static defenses like HLTs. Some of these like agitators or guardians. Is guardians the TA name for it? It might be. Yes, well, you might notice in some of my videos, I use the old Total Annihilation references for some of these bots and buildings, right? So do forgive me. It's just old habits die hard. It is what it is. Right, I've got a little bit of a wall of Rocketeers up, so I'm feeling good. I felt like, look, I need to try and build a little bit more of an economy here, right? I did notice that they have an air as well, because our bombers got shot down by their fighters. So I wanted to protect us as much as possible, or really just protecting my lane, right? I didn't want them to get into the base, because I wanted to tech up, and I didn't want to spend all my metal on air defenses. I wanted to tech up. I just wanted to get enough time so I can tech. Now this, look at this. They've pushed significantly forward here, right? This is their lane. I mean, the red team, excellent sort of play. Are these? Oh, they're maces. Yeah, sorry, I thought they were Centurions. I was thinking, yeah. I mean, where did he get the metal and the energy to make all these Centurions? But he hasn't. This is a tough. This section here, right? If you're starting here, it's actually quite tough. I did play another game where I thought, right, let me start in this area here and see how I do. And yeah, I might put that up. Let's see how it goes, right? But yeah, this section is tough. I mean, the enemy can really push forward, right? They can really push forward and get a significant foothold. I mean, their top player, look, he's been aggressive since the beginning. Right, there's a bit of a pattern here, right? Aggression. Back on my side, see, I'm not a massive fan of HLTs. I think they're slow, right? And the damage output and the fire rate isn't that. I think beamers are better. If you're going to invest that much time and metal in static defenses, I just prefer beamers, honestly. But yeah, guys, let me know. What do you reckon, right? Those Overwatches or beamers. Here, I started getting hit quite badly, right? And it's this guy, because I was getting these plasma rounds getting hit on me, right? And I've realized that I don't want to lose my units, so I moved them back. I think I did have vision. No, I didn't actually have vision, but I thought, look, it's that agitator is going to be somewhere, right? So I thought, let me just move them back enough where they're still there, they're still at the front, so I can utilize them to defend myself if I have to. I got some of these cheap units out, sprinters, so I thought I can annoy them a little bit. I could get these sprinters to go in and maybe do a run by into their back line. Love this unit. Shout out to Blue. He saw that I was making a little forward base for myself over here, right? But what I was lacking is any way to shroud myself. So he sent me this radar jamming bot. Now that's love at right there. This guy's in trouble. But look, they're not focusing on the commander here. I think that's a bit of an oversight, because this is a walking nuke. You focus your fire on him, yeah, you're gonna lose units, but he's gonna take down all of his units too. Right, he's gonna take down all of his units too. Love our airplay, going back in, sending out those bombers again. Right, putting pressure on the front. My sprinters, again, not exactly the strongest of tier 2 units, but it was enough to annoy them. And I think I might have overdone it. I think I made about 20 of them, because I wanted to ball them up and then send them. But then I realized that actually I gotta find some way of holding these guys back, and I needed to give them something to think about. So my remaining tier 1s, this is what I mean. I didn't want to send them all the way back or just leave them up forward to get killed. They can still give me some value, you know. Yes, it's a good chunk of APM that you need if you don't want to lose them. And I don't have a nano here, you know. I don't have a construction unit to just automatically repair these guys. And I've sent my commander back to the base, right, to help out over there. But I feel better now because I've got a few hounds, right? So if these guys fall, these tier 1 trash units, these 2 hounds will do it. These 2 hounds will do it. But look, I think I'm doing all right. I'm dancing, you know. And again, this is taking my focus away, so it's not like I can really do too much in the base. But I think I macroed enough where I can just let the base get on with it. And now I'm teching up my metal extractors, right? So the lesson here is, if you want your son high level APM, send him frontline 2-3 years and forget. That's the advice. That's the advice right here. Now this guy is looking to build some LLTs. This is good. This is good. This is what I would have loved to have done. See, if you got a construction turret here, right, it's just gonna repair your units and automatically suck up all the metal. And there's a ton of metal here. I mean, over 1,000, right? Brilliant. He's gonna get the reclaim. But what's he's thinking he's winning? It's a strategy game. I'm getting some strong units here. In fact, let's see what he's got. He still has his tower defense going on here, right, to block the the slope. But he ain't doing too great, in my opinion. It looks nice, and he's got a tier 2 lined up. But I don't know. I think it's a little weak. Same with this guy. I think he's a little weak, right? As a team, I think they're doing well, because I can see they have some tier 2 mexes happening over there. Right, if we have a look around the central position, or the center right position, Red is doing good. I mean, they're even making raids down here. So Bogal, he's actually a really nice player, right? So he does help. And I think I played another game with him as well, which was quite good. So again, noob games, everyone's learning, right? So yeah, front line, it's a baptism of fire, right? But it's the best way to learn. Interestingly, so this sort of a cream color they've been here for a while. And it looks like they just want to lay siege to our teammates. Okay, and that's a good shout. You know, they got these heavy rocket bots, these arbiters. They can lay siege, and then you send in your more traditional assault units to take them out, right? But we got some tier 2s. They should. I mean, pyros aren't the nice self-destruct. If you self-destruct a pyro, they actually do have pretty good area damage. Now this is just disheartening. I mean, it's tough. You're up here. It's tough. But I don't like this. You know, you're getting beaten up. Why do you need so many construction units? What's that going to do for you? Get some units out there. You've got a bit of a high ground. You know, you could get rocket bots, just spam rocket bots, and they can do so much damage. You're gonna have to micro them a fair bit, yes, but you're gonna get so much more value out of them than all of these. It's on repeat. Maybe he doesn't realize. It's that high level APM. You want it? Send your son frontline 2-3 years. That's it. They will learn. So what I'm hoping... Oh, this guy has taken some serious hits. The Legion Commander. I do like Legion. When I play with Dr. Urano, he traditionally played... Well, traditionally he was Cortex, but he has been playing more Legion these days, so it's always good to see. Now it's time to show my hounds, right? He's pulled out his pyros. These aren't going to do anything to my hounds. As long as I don't do what I'm doing here, which is just moving them ridiculously close, right? I should be able to trade really well. So I wanted to see how much damage I can do to his LLTs, because ultimately I just don't want him to have the greatest wall of LLTs known to man. I wanted to try and do a little bit of damage, and I wanted to show him that I've got a bit of strength here. Don't think you could just come over here and take down and just do a raid on my units. And one of the tragedies of that is their commander. Yeah, he's been taken down. Brown. I got a hit on him. Right, so I took him down. And I don't think this guy learned his lesson. He didn't see his comrade get his head blown off. So now he wants to come in for the reclaim. Okay, fair enough, but surely he knows that not all of my units died. I don't think I clocked. I don't think, yeah, I think now I realise, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute, what's this guy doing here? What's this guy doing here? Let me go say hello. Let me go say hello. So from my perspective, I saw him, and like I said, these guys are a walking nuke, right? So if you can set them off, they're taking out everything around with them, okay? But those plasma shells, they did worry me a little bit because I didn't want to overcommit. You know, I lost a few hounds already, right? He got a licking. He's running away. He wants to try and get healed up. Commanders do take a significant amount of time to be fully repaired. They do. Right, look at his health. They do self-repair, but if you're trying to repair them with construction turrets, bots, things like that, they do take a bit of time. So, knowing that, if they start getting brave again and getting closer, look, he really wants to reclaim on that. Yeah, he wants that juicy metal. If they start getting brave and they haven't given themselves enough time to heal, they're weak. You can attack them again. Spider bots, recluses. I wanted to get them on the hill in a position where I felt as though I can shoot them, but they can't shoot me. And yeah, Sheldons, that's what was hitting me. Yeah, I figured he couldn't have been tier 1 to do that much damage to my hounds. But yeah, look, now I'm sending these guys in. Right, and the idea is I want this commander. I want this commander. I want him gone. 2 down. Front line in, 2 commanders down. They're not being able to res them. I'm not giving them an opportunity to reclaim the metal. I've got some of these recluses in here as well. Now, I'm sending these guys in. And you might think, okay, look, he's just sending them to die. He should move them back. I didn't think their health was high enough to retreat. Okay? And yes, it may look like it's a donation of metal, but look, I'm not in it for the long game, mate. I've already taken down 2 of these guys. I've taken down 2 of these guys, and I think I can get more. Okay, so I felt alright that my defense is there. So even if they try to raid, I've got these recluses, and they're up on a little mountain here, and they're gonna be okay. They're gonna be able to shoot down upon anything that tries to come through. So I had a little bit of luck, maybe, if you want to call it that, because these guys are trying to shoot them, and besides this particular recluse, the rest of them, the shots were just going over these guys. So I felt I felt happy. I felt good. And look, again, shout out to G-Flow, man. I mean, this jamming bot, fantastic. I mean, if we were to see from their view, they just had no idea. They had no idea. They were probably under the assumption that I'm getting all of these guys, you know. Yes, they're coming from my base, but they had no idea that I've got something around here as well, just waiting for them. So yeah, besides that one particular unit, they're not really getting too much luck. Looks like we were able to push these guys back a little bit. A forward tier 2, very risky. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Unless you've got a significant stranglehold on your flanks, I don't think this is the greatest of ideas, and especially if you don't have the build power as well. Maybe not the best move. What are some of my colleagues doing? Perhaps a little bit of APM stalling here. They're going into tier 2. But yeah, metal is always a problem for everybody. But look, he's doing really well. He's got a ton of energy converters, and as long as the wind picks back up, he's gonna do all right. Right. So what am I doing? I thought, let me try and get these guys in. Okay. I thought, let me see what else they got going on over there. What sort of push can I make? And again, look, I've got a series of backup units here. Very good shout out about the anti nukes. I don't think I've got one up. And look, we're at 23-minute mark, so extremely late. So yeah, good play there by G-Flow. let your, communicate with your squad mates, right? Especially if you don't see those anti-nuke markings, right? Just remind your team, let them know. As soon as I could, I thought, yep, absolutely, he's spot on. I don't want to be caught with my pants down here. So definitely, I've got a fusion up, making my second fusion. Got some advanced energy converters as well, and I've still got this guy working the field, right, so to speak. Our air player, this guy is like he's a bit of an MVP, a bit of an unsung hero, right? He's not necessarily in the front just taking the heads of commanders and scalping them, but he's the one making sure we don't get bombed to oblivion, right? I mean, even their air player, you can see from the map, he's got a really good air ward for the amount of the map that they've got covered. In fact, they actually have more of the map than we do. See, in my own little world, I was thinking, yeah, we must be doing super well. If a guy like me with my skill set has pushed this far up, we must be doing really, really well. But I think maybe a reasoning for that is, I'm going up against not their strongest experienced player neither, right? But their third highest player is there too. And in most cases, I have been 2v1ing against these guys. So yeah, I don't think it's been too bad. Whoa, look at this. Wow. That is a mad sort of area denial bot if I've ever seen one. Grenade launcher defense. Crikey. Yeah, I mean, look. This Grimald, he's certainly done well. I mean, he's conquered lands. He's denying land. He's a very aggressive player. In fact, I wonder what his base is looking like. Yeah, that's kind of beautiful actually. Look how well maintained it is. It's like it's never seen warfare before. Same with this guy. This must be Legion. Yeah, this is Legion as well. Gold actually looks pretty good on Legion. Looks really good on Legion. So I'm now amassing a composition. The thing with I was gonna say Total Annihilation. The thing with Beyond All Reason, right? You can't just spam a particular type of bot. Yeah, although I know some people may think you can, like Sheldon's, yeah, and live off of that for the rest of your life. No, the art is building a composition that works. Now, I don't know if this is the best composition in the world, but I felt like it was going to work for me. Welder's super tanky, and they've got the chain lightning, so they're going to take care of any of these spam units. I think I asked this guy, right, to move up with me, or maybe it wasn't at this section here. Yeah, I saw him move up. That was it. I saw him move up, and I just let him know that I'm gonna help out. I would have loved to have had a bigger army, but because I saw him moving up, I thought, no, I don't want to just send him in alone. I think with what I've got and what he has, we could do good amount of damage here, and I think we are. So let's see how we get on, right? So these recluses, they just fire so many rockets off, right? And they can do so much damage. They move really quickly as well. I might have lost all my hounds, but I don't feel too bad. Especially because Light Blue, he's composition of Sheldon's. That's me talking about Sheldon's a little bit earlier. I mean, look, with the complement of what I've got and these cans. I mean, they used to be called cans, they're sumos now. These sumos, look how forward you can march. Yeah, these pyros are there, but they're not going to last too long. I still have 1 or 2 rocket bots, and they're going to be able to rain hell. So as you can see, from my sort of move actions, I'm trying to send them everywhere. Spider bots, all terrain. I knew they can get up here super easy. I don't need to worry. I don't need to worry about paths. I'm just going to move them up. The chain lightning just took out all of these energy converters. I mean, look, this wasn't even the biggest army in the world, nor the strongest, but look how much damage we can do. Right, he's got no base defenses, and this is what I meant earlier, right? Yeah, it looked pretty, it looked good, but what is it really? I mean, the moment it sees a little bit of war, is it going to be able to survive? And I think we're getting that answer. A little bit of APM stall. Only a little. Like I said, look, that high level APM. frontlining, you're gonna pick up on it, right? This guy is all but done. He's spent. He's over. Only thing he's got left is his tier 1 wall that he had. Now here, I was kind of in two minds. I wasn't sure where to go, right? Do I go for this guy who was attacking me with his comrade all this time? Or do I try and go for a little bit of a sneak attack? Because I do have my spider bots. You know, I didn't know too much about this player, and I wanted to ask him some questions. I felt as though my comrades kind of got this under control because we ravaged them. We ravaged them, and if he can take out this tier 2 base, they've got nothing. They've got nothing. So he's doing okay. This guy, he just did not notice. Like, I just wish I had a few more welders, right, to have just taken him out, and I could have done. Just a few more. Okay, and he's a nuke. If I took him out, he would have just wiped out his entire base just for me. Okay. I know he's there. I've got vision. Boom! Gone! Demolished. Your boy has scalped 3 commanders in this game. 3 of them. Gone. Now, the rest of the team, I noticed that these guys, they never pinged the team. They never highlighted that they were in any sort of trouble, right? Which is not good. Bad play. So I don't know if these guys are even aware that something was happening. I mean, Pink, he's not really he doesn't have any real units, so not too much he can do to help. Yeah, he was covering this angle here. He was covering this angle here. So yeah, fair enough. At least he was trying to help the orange player, right? So fair dues to them. Fair dues to them. He's trying to rebuild. Gonna be tough trying to get into a tier 2 air lab without a significant economy. One of the things I learned in another game that I played is, my god, this lab is a pain in the backside to build. Honestly, it seriously is. Now I've got some heavy hitters here. Now I feel like I'm in a position where I can do some big damage, and these tier 1, I mean, these are good. I'm not gonna say any disparaging words against these units. They're good, but against my fat boy from distance, my fat boy's gonna eat him up. In fact, my fat boy can take down all of this. The only thing I need with my fat boy, right, is some assault units, okay, and vision. So learning from my experiences in other games, ticks, they're gonna get my give my units vision, particularly my fat boys. I should have microed this unit a lot better, but I felt as though, you know what, I'm in a point where I'm building enough that I'm gonna be okay, even if they take down a few of them, right? They're being cheeky with these res bots, just waiting there, trying to get the reclaim on. Not gonna happen here. Not gonna happen. And now these fat boys are coming to town. These shredders, which aren't really gonna be able to do anything against units anyway. These are anti-air. These fat boys are gonna see them. Boom! Look at that. I'm surprised that Shredder took 3 hits, to be completely honest with you. I thought that would be all she wrote after 2. But look at that. I mean, tier 1 tanks just don't... it's no contest. There are bots... Okay, now he's finally, shouted over to his squad mates about the problem that they're in. There's no point in doing this. No point in doing this. He's not gonna be able to build that base or build any significant units in time. Okay, this is what I mean about having some assault bots, right, accompanying your fat boys, units like your fat boy, because they can just make anything, even like this tier 1s, and they can get up close and personal and do some damage. Even if it's minimal, they can do some damage. Yeah, look, fat boys, be careful. Friendly fire is a thing. Now, I wasn't sure if I actually saw this base over here. I realised, look, there's something here. There's something here. And maybe we should go take it out. Anytime you see a fusion reactor, it's a lovely target. One of the best things you could see, because it's like, great, that's going to hurt their economy, right? They may have advanced fusions, fair enough, but hey, it's a fusion reactor. I want to put some hurt on them. And now I can see that this forward operating base is going to take a little bit of a licking. just who is this? Right, their air player is still managed to get some bombers out. You know, so shout out to him. You know, he's clearly a good air player, right? And he's still trying to do what he can to help his teammates. Okay, I think our main blue player G-Flow, I think he was just lagging a little bit there. I saw him sparkling on the mini map. Pink is trying to survive. He wants to try and get these tier 3s out. Not enough build power, my opinion, to do anything. And our air, oh mate, look at this. Accompanied by the ticks to at least give him some vision. This is gonna be some big damage. Big damage. Tier 3 lab gone. It's over. See, unless you got a significant economy, you can't do tier 2 bots, tier 2 vehicles, and a tier 3 lab. No way. No way. Not especially with just one fusion. That's not gonna happen. I mean, this is beyond all reason. I mean, look at all of this. Look at this. They're at a point where they're just demoralized, right? Now this whole section, this east wing, done. This is not the answer. You're not gonna be able to get nukes out in time. Yeah. What do you think's gonna happen? You know, we're just gonna, after raiding your bases all this time, we're just gonna stop raiding? No way. It's gonna continue. And this whole flank is over with. Now this is the beauty of games, right? Like beyond all reason. You saw early on that this entire left side, red team had it on lock. Okay, had it on lock, and our guys here, they had land taken from them. They've been abused. They're still being abused. But if you can win one side, one section, okay, you can change the tide of the game. Our team, they must be looking at the mini map as well and saying, hang on a minute, we've cut through. We cut through. If we scroll out, they're weak here. We could just keep pushing up here, destroy all of this, and move this way, right? And then get their main player. Get right behind him. Our team can then move forward, and he's done for. Pincered. I've still got a bunch of units that I'm piling up over here, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going into tier 3. I'm going into tier 3. Yeah? If the enemy wants to play this game, I'm going to do so as well. I don't have an advanced fusion, which is something I'm lacking, but I've got 3 fusions. Right? I've got okay metal coming in. I want to be at the 100 range. Right? But it's okay. I've stopped production on tier 2 because, like I said, I don't have enough to build an army of both. But I want to focus on tier 3. Interesting. He wants to send these little spy vehicles up there. Okay. So I'm trying to amass a little bit of an army here. Okay, I've got some of my remaining tier 2. I've got some tier 3. Okay, my comrade, I love these starlights. He's got some good units here as well. And at some point, if we were to push together, I think we're going to do very well. I think we're going to do very, very well. I've already sent these. I've sent these bad boys up to go up here and to attack the flank. Yes, Razorback. Excellent. Mr. Hattie. Now he's got something to make these guys think. I really wish he'd push them up a little bit though, because these fat boys are going to just start teeing off on them. Razorbacks are nicely armored, but you know, you don't want them to be sitting ducks, right? And like I said, these fat boys, great at distance, can't really do too much when someone's up close and personal with them. And yo, that's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. That was enough. That was enough. They saw these units come in, and that was enough. Your boy just got the award for destroying the enemy resources and its production, right? I don't think I did too early with anything else, but just outright going into a stage of destruction, I think I did pretty good. So yeah, let me know how you think I did in this game. I think this was probably one of my best games that I played, right? Yeah, and if you like the content, guys, honestly, it really helps. Drop a like, drop a sub. Yeah, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.